Welcome back to the Power in Your Voice podcast. We would like to first say thank you to those who tune in week after week, those who share the link on various platforms. Thank you. Y'all, this season, we are excited to bring you some hot and new topics. We are ready to push you further into your destiny. If you feel stuck or even overwhelmed, I want you to tune in and have a mind of expectancy, because we believe that if you challenge it, it will change.
Welcome back to the Power in Your Voice. You know, challenge it and it will change. I pray that you have started off with a great year this year. I want to thank all of my listeners, all of the new listeners that are coming on, that is subscribing to us. We truly appreciate your ears. We appreciate your attention. And so with that being said, we greatly appreciate you. We do not take it for granted that you take out the time to listen to the Power in Your Voice podcast. We're going to talk about the blues. And if you know anything about the blues have a story. And we are starting off in this new year, y'all. We are starting off great. But let me tell you, we hit a plateau. We hit a place where it was like, oh my God, overwhelming. We got really overwhelmed by some things that was happening in our life. We hit brick walls, we hit stumbling blocks. And let me tell you, I got very frustrated. And I know if I got frustrated, somebody may be experiencing those same things, and you are doing great. You're doing everything that you can. This is a new year, and we're trying to start the new year out right. We're trying to do what we're supposed to do, y'all. And let me tell you something, that thing got trying. And I was like, oh, so frustrated. You want to throw the towel in. You want to say, I don't want to do it anymore. So let's talk about it. Let me see who I want to talk about it with it first. Look like I'm going to call Jalen. Jalen, let's talk about the blues. Yeah. Y'all, if y'all could only see her face, y'all will understand why we're talking about the blues. Then let's talk about it.
Oh my gosh. I'm going to be honest. I didn't really want to talk about this topic because I told them it was just too fresh for me. But we're here now. So, I don't know. It just seems like you just can't catch a break sometimes. You work so hard. It's just like stuff, if it ain't one thing, it's another. And so I just got frustrated. And so I was just like, I got to a point, I don't know if y'all know about like the analogy of like a olive that goes through like the olive press to get the olive oil out of it. But that's how I felt. And I told God, I was like, I just feel like an olive that's being crushed. And I said, and I told God, I said, I can't lie. This don't feel good. I don't know how y'all talk to God, but I was talking to God like, I just I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. This don't feel good and I don't like it. And so literally, I want to say the other day I was reading something and the scripture came up and it was in Hebrews chapter 10, and it literally was everything I needed to read. And it just said, patient endurance is what you need now. And so when I read the first time, and I said, hold on, let me read that again. And I said, patient endurance is what I need right now. And I had to put myself in that thing because it just spoke to me. And so that's exactly what I needed to hear. And then I don't know, like for me, going to the Bible and going to God is what really brings me peace sometimes. I hope that don't sound like fake or like, I don't know, overly religious, but for me, that's just what brings me peace sometimes. And so like, I know there's always in Philippians where it says, don't be anxious about anything. So when I find myself getting anxious, I said, God, this trying to make me anxious, and you told me don't be anxious about nothing. So I'm bringing it to you because you commanded me not to be anxious. So I need you to deal with this so I'm not anxious. And that's just how I talk to God. And then I'm not anxious no more. I'm not worried no more because he told me to make my supplication known to him. So that's what I do. I make my request known to him. And then once I do that, I don't really be worried no more because I just know that God has never failed me. I know that He has always come through, and He can handle whatever it is that I'm going through in that moment, whatever I'm thinking, whatever I'm dealing with. If I'm feeling stressed, He can handle it all. So I take it to Him. I'm not gonna try to hold it myself. I just take it to Him, and then I really do come out my prayer closet feeling better.
That's good, Jalen. That is so good, because I'm telling you, it really hit us like a skyrocket. And we really did get the blues, you all. I mean, that frustration can try to really overwhelm you. And I like how you went to the word of God, because that is what brings us peace, joy, and I don't know, where our listeners are. Do they have a relationship with God or what? But there are so many techniques that you can use to bring you out of the blues. I know for me, I had to hit that treadmill, you all. And I really heard God tell me, take it out on the treadmill. Take your frustration out on the treadmill. And so where I was like, y'all, I don't even run on my treadmill. But this day, guess what? This girl got to run on that treadmill, y'all. I was like, I'm tired of this. I'm sick of this. And I just was letting all of my frustration out while I was on that treadmill. Therefore, I didn't have to go with people's or my friends or someone else and just regurgitate on them. I did that on the treadmill, y'all. Oh my God. Come on, David Young, talk to me about the blues. Yes.
Yeah. Yo, I love this because Jalen is like going through it now, right? Versus when I first saw Dr. Linda tonight, she was like, how you doing tonight? And I said, I'm doing good today, but yesterday I was feeling down, right? So it just goes to show how quickly that thing can change. Cause just yesterday, what I told her, I said, I was gonna call you yesterday because I was feeling like distressed, like I was feeling just down, right? And I had ended up not calling, not for any particular reason. I think I just had got started doing other things, but that thing can change so quickly. And I think what sometimes for me, right, and maybe other people's too, is when we get the blues or when we get down and down and out and all that kind of stuff, sometimes we have a problem with making poor decisions based off of like how we feel right then, right? And
wait, say that again. We start making what? I like that.
I think we make poor decisions based off of how we feel, like especially with a negative emotion like that. And kind of, I think it's important for us to know in the back of our mind, like, I feel like this right now, but this isn't going to be always. Like, I'm feeling down right now and I'm feeling distressed, but this is just temporary. And it reminded me of this story I was reading today. And I had called my mom to share with her, but I'm gonna share a different part than what the Lord was showing me. But Moses was up, he was getting the commandments, and like the instructions for like everything, right? The tabernacle, like down to the smallest detail, right? And the people, it says that they was like, this is taking like, where is he? Like, it's taking so long, right? So out of them feeling like he was taking so long, they made a poor decision. Go back and read it. They made the gold calf because he was taking a long time, right? And I think that's why, and just like they do, and when we start feeling like that, that's when we start making bad decisions. So just from a point of experience, and everybody's experienced the same thing. We've had times where we were down, and then it changes. It can change just like that. Like from day to day, it can change. So just remember, like, if you are feeling down, even if there's no real solution, or like you feel like you may not have a treadmill, or you may not know exactly what to do. Sometimes if you just hold on and wait, right? Everything will be okay. But sometimes that solution doesn't sound like the greatest solution because you want something right now. But if you don't have another solution and you sitting here right now or in your car, or you're working out, whatever, and you feel like you don't know what to do, just wait. Like, just wait. It'll get better. Like, you'll be good. Just hold on. And that's not to diminish or, belittle how you feel, but that's just saying, like, Don't make no poor decision based off of how you feel, but just relax, just hold on, and you'll feel better, you know?
I like that, Davion. You let us know that even Moses and them had the blues. My God, everybody experiences. I mean, no one is exempt from this. We all experience the blues. What do you have to say about it, Jada?
Yeah, I was starting to smile when Davion was talking because I wrote down a note about what the Lord told me the last time I felt like I was in the blues. And I feel like he read my note just now. Because um so y'all, I'll have these moments ever since I had my car accident. I have these random moments where they're like unprovoked. I just start getting like really sad. And um it'll be like just a random day and I'll just feel down and I have all these negative thoughts and the last time this happened to me, the Lord said to me, every time whenever you come to a moment like this, just remember to keep going. And he talked to me about what I allow myself to think on in those moments. Because
Wow.
I'll have these thoughts, like negative thoughts and even suicidal thoughts sometimes, and I'll just allow them to keep playing, and then it makes me go into a deeper depression, a deeper sadness, and I'll just kind of like go into it. Like I'll stop trying to stop my thoughts. And the Lord told me I have to be careful about what I allow myself to think about in those moments. And I'm still working on that, but that's what I wanted to share.
That's good, Jay. That's good.
I heard Jalen say that she felt like an olive, but sometimes I be feeling like a grape, y'all. Because it's like, y'all ever think about a grape when it's pressed into wine? I don't know why my mind thought like this, but it's just like you're getting like smashed for no reason. Like somebody just sitting there stomping on you just over and over and over for no reason. But you have to remember that the last time you've been in a situation like this, and I think I spoke about this before on the podcast, you got through it. So just keep going until you get through this situation, and it's not going to stay like that.
Can I say something real quick?
Go ahead, Davion.
Real quick, because she said something that I be telling myself, right? And I really pray that that people would be strong, right? You know, even for people who are contemplating suicide or you know, or just throwing in the towel, whatever that means to you, right? Whatever throwing in the towel looks like for you right now. When I get in a moment like that and I really feel like, man, I feel like throwing in the towel, it got to be the Holy Spirit, because I'll just hear myself say, what you gonna do? Stop? Like, what are you gonna do? You gonna just stop right here? But that worked for me though, because I don't want to just be stuck. So you got to just keep going forward. So I'll ask myself that when I'm feeling like just down. I'm like, dang, but what you gonna do? Stop? Like you just, you know, no, you got to keep going.
Yeah, that's so true. That is so true. You have to find your way, and you have to really just press during those times. Ebony, talk to me about the blues. Talk to me.
First, I would like to add to Davion, because I like that analogy that you just used about what you're gonna do is just stop. I think about when sometimes when I use my GPS in these big cities, and you get frustrated because it looks like it's telling you to go this way, but then you see a curve and you like, but the curve is down the street. So which way do you want me to go? And I think about, well, what if I did just stop? How bad of an impact that would, be. So I thought about that automatically when Davion said that. I'm like, that's a really good analogy. If I stop, how bad of an impact will this make on my life? And one of the things that while everybody was talking, one of my readings this week was Better Than. And it was just letting me know that, in Psalms 84, is just saying how one day better than with God is better than one day in life and all of that. I'm messing up the wording, y'all. You get nervous when you're trying to make sure you hurry up and quote the Bible, but read Psalms 84 for yourself and you'll see what I'm talking about. But one of the questions that it asked me is, it's just a daily reading, and it just says, does your short-sightedness impact how you live for God? And I'm like, okay. So, you read it again and you're like, wow, It does, because like Davion was saying, poor decisions are made. You know, sometimes jumping too soon from this to that, that's when you have premature. Like there's so much that was in there that was like, wow, Lord, okay, you hitting something right there. So talking about these blues, it was on time. It's amazing how God sets you up for the week when he knew, you know, again, this week has been rough for me, just, you know, just trying to handle a lot of things and get things done and things like that. Companies going through a lot of changes. So you just feel overwhelmed. And again, I'm like, man, my short-sightedness, I can make decisions that will impact me greatly. So, you know, all I can do is I got to keep going. I got to just take it one day at a time. I got to pull the puzzle piece apart, literally one by one. It's already put together, but for what I need to do, I need to pull it apart one by one so that I can get all the pieces that I need. So I think this is a really good conversation, y'all. Y'all gotta stop letting things affect you. So that was good.
Yeah, I tell you, when you say stop letting things affect you, I promise you, I was not trying to. I was in a good. I was going well. I did not invite it in. Somehow it just showed up that day. Like Jada said, it just pop up. And I saw a smile on Jalen's face when you were saying something. She started to smile. And Jalen, what else you have to say about these blues?
I just really enjoyed all of that. Everybody got some really good points. But like you said, you don't always welcome it in. It just shows up like an uninvited guest.
Yeah.
Sometimes it just comes in like a flood. Like it just overwhelms you. Like it don't come in like subtly and like kind of like knock at the door, like, hey, I'm here. Can I come in today? Can we sit and talk? Like, no, it's gonna like barge in behind like a robber, and it's just coming to take over. And if you don't have the support team around you, because everybody here on this podcast is my support group, like my husband, like all of that. So if you don't have a proper support team around you, and if you don't have, like we were all talking about today, like all of us at some point have talked about how God has really helped be our strength in our time of weakness. Like if you don't have those things to pick you up and snatch you out of it, you could stay in that place for a really long time. So you just really have to be aware. Like you have to be aware, like do a mental check on yourself and say, how am I actually feeling right now? Because you could kind of shrug it off. And if you're not honest with yourself in those moments, it could really overtake you. So you have to either have a mental check with yourself or have somebody who can text you and be like, hey, I'm just checking on you today. You crossed my mind. How are you feeling? And it's all about honesty in that moment and like really releasing that off of you.
That's good, Jayla. So y'all, as we get ready to end this podcast, I just want to encourage all of us that we all have these days. We all. So you are not going through something that someone else is not experiencing. So I want to encourage myself. I want to encourage my team. I want to encourage my listeners. Y'all, let's just try to do what we can. Do not clock out with suicide. Don't clock out with doing things, making bad decisions. Let's stay in this race, as we have said on our last podcast. Let's run with endurance. I love you all. Thank you for listening. Peace out.
Thank you for tuning in this week. Our prayer is that you be encouraged. Know that life can be hard at times, sometimes even unbearable. But know, when we are weak, God is strong. Let's take off the world's expectation of us and ask God, what do you expect of me? We ask that you like, comment, and subscribe. Have a blessed week and see you next week.